Good morning and welcome to the Board of the Council on Aging meeting of March 19th. Excuse me. May I have a motion to call the meeting to order at 9:35?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Irene is going to read our mission statement.
The mission of the Council on Aging is to advocate for Groveland's older adults, to identify their needs, to develop and implement services to meet their health, economic, social, and cultural needs, to encourage maximum independence, and to improve their quality of life.
Thank you. And if we could just quickly identify ourselves, introduce ourselves.
Deb Stevenson, Board Treasurer.
Irene Thomas, Board Secretary.
Barbara Sanborn, Board Chair.
Laurel Pahalski, Vice Chair.
Sharon Hines, board member.
Marie Waller, board member.
Thank you. And
Alyssa Lee, Director.
we have Larry McKelney as the Chair of the Friends of the Groveland Council on Aging here with us today as well. Approval of the February 19th meeting minutes. May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion.
I'll second. Is there any
Second.
discussion, questions,
Oh.
comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain, I wasn't there.
Okay, thank you.
so of all present.
Moving right along to the director's report, please, Alyssa.
Excellent. Good morning. Thank you for your time. So I sent this out last night. Apologies. It's been busy. So I started out. It was something I had actually learned a while ago. One of the McLean trainings that the MCOA sponsors. For the topics are mostly on behavioral health. Also mentioned in Brene Brown, if anybody's read her books, is Living Big. I think it resonates for me personally, but also definitely in our work here at the COA. So it's an acronym, BIG. McLean training suggested looking at it backwards. So starting with generosity, meaning, that going into a conversation or situation where with the assumption that everyone is doing and trying their best. So be that, a community member that's just having a really hard day, a staff member, anyone that you run into, assume that they are doing their best. Integrity, on our side, on the staff side, my side, working, making sure that we do treat everyone with integrity they deserve, but also with our own ethics of integrity. So even though, it might be really easy to, pass this person off because they've asked, they know, but would I do that to somebody else that just asked the first time? Absolutely not. So making sure that we live true to our values of integrity, no matter, how challenging the situation might be. And then setting boundaries. It's hard because we work with people on a really raw and emotional level, and you don't want to say no. But we have to. And so just making sure that there are those clear boundaries, and really for the sake of my time, of staff time, to make sure that in regards to burnout and safety, but also for our community members' times, to make sure that we are here to provide the resources so that they have that long-term and stability. So I just thought I would put that out there, hoping for your living big while I gave this to you late. So, but I think it has been really helpful for me to go in and having conversations with this in the back of my mind. So thank you. Finance highlights. The day-to-day, nothing unusual. I did send out an email just notifying the board earlier, or perhaps late. I don't remember if it was early March or late February, but we did receive the award letter from Mass DOT that the grant we submitted that will be used in FY26 for $5,000 has been granted. So again, that will be effective July 1, 2025. Nichols Village has committed to being a title sponsor for our upcoming engagement celebration on May 17th, which is awesome. So truly appreciate their work and support in us. We received an award letter to obtain 6 headsets to provide music for our Memory Cafe participants, sort of our core participants. It's a wireless program. As we know, music is just a vehicle to transport people back in a different time, be it just to stay calm and connected, to bring back memories, or just, to be in the present moment. It can, wherever their mind wants them to be. So this is a new program. I think she's down south somewhere, but it's an organization called My Memory Works. We get 6 free. It's pretty substantial paperwork and just a lot of genres, as one can imagine. All the music in the world at our fingertips now. So she creates playlists that are specific to the individual that will be receiving the headset. So it'll be their songs, their favorite songs, their favorite genres, or any sort of connection, like if they had a wedding song or something like that they wanted. So that will be very cool to see. And hopefully, if it's something that works well and we want to do more of, there are available for purchase, but we get the 6 for free. And then I submitted a letter of inquiry to the I Am Still Here Foundation. They're actually based in Lexington, but it is a national organization. And the idea was, their parameters are that you have to, as with everything, you have to be innovative, which is awesome and great. Sometimes after you've done it once, I don't know if it's still considered innovative, but impactful, yes. But our innovative program is working in collaboration with the library. They currently have a program for children 0 to 5. And so I had seen it elsewhere with connecting those living with dementia and younger children than just living in the pure moment. So we submitted a real quick letter of inquiry. We think we'd probably do it once a month, facilitated, if it were to go forward, with Debbie Kroner, who has been doing the monthly dementia workshops with us here. She has been a teacher in the past, so what really great timing for us to make it happen. So I'll keep you posted. They won't let us know until May if we can even submit a full proposal.
So are you working with Evangeline or through Darcy?
Yeah, so I reached out, I sent out an email to both Darcy and Evangeline. Evangeline was super excited, and yes, so yeah. I'm excited about it. Any questions on finance stuff? No? Yep, definitely, so it's counting on some sponsorship support for our upcoming engagement should be coming in. I definitely budgeted conservatively. So, it's still a learning process, second year in, and we'll continue looking forward and how to best utilize those resources. So, yeah. Assistant Director report is up next. Nisha put together some wonderful social activities, in February, including our Heart Healthy Lunch. It was led by Lee Hartwell. We had great feedback about the program. In addition, we had gone to the Kowloon restaurant, which has, again, just been super, everyone loves the Kowloon, which is nice to see people excited about that. We did hear feedback about wanting to go to the Brook Casino, so that will be coming up actually next week, I believe. So lots of great things happening there. Pantry highlights. She mentioned a few things. I have some more later on, but things are working out smoothly. And just putting it out there that Northern Essex Elder Transport NEAT is really in desperate need of volunteers for driving people. So for those that aren't familiar with it, you would sign up. It's a pretty basic sign up. You know, you go through your background check, but then you also upload your registration and your insurance. You get reimbursed, I think, 55 cents a mile. And you get to choose what you want to do. So essentially, you would get notified when there's a ride available. If you can do it, awesome. You pick it up and say, you know, it's all electronic. If you can't, then you don't do anything. But as we've spoken about at length before, transportation is just absolutely critical. We have people going to their doctor's appointments that couldn't make it otherwise, and that's really where NEAT focuses on is medical appointments. So if anyone can do it, they're looking for drivers, and our community is looking for drivers.
Melissa, I have a question.
Yeah.
If there was not a NEAT driver available, and someone needed to, for instance, take an Uber, but would be a stretch financially, is that something that the Friend Fund would be used for?
So just putting out there that Larry had asked if the Friends Fund could do it, I would track that back. I mean, I know that the Friends Fund has kindly supported transportation costs before, and that was more for van fees. Same purpose. You know, if the Friends Fund would be open to supporting that, you know, we can make that.
I think it might be something that we would be interested in discussing, and we want to help. And certainly, I know that people sometimes have to cancel an appointment because they can't get transportation. And certainly, you know, support NEAT and all the efforts that NEAT is engaged in, but sometimes there aren't enough.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I just worry about people not having the care that they need.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Awesome. Thank you, Larry. So below the assistant director report are statistics and insights. There's definitely a downward trend for February that we'll look a little deeper into. You know, not an overall concern, but still just noticeable. I would say that despite that, still transportation is up and the need for those services. So again, highlighting that need for transportation. We have a lot coming up, even just next week. So next week is Action Pack with At Home Hearing. This is a new program that we started in March and April. At Home Hearing is the name of the organization. It does not take place at home. It will take place here in the back conference room. March is currently full, but we do have space on April 28th. Again, it's half-hour appointments, 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock. It's free. They do hearing screenings, cleanings, wax removal of, you know, the hearing aids and so forth. So, you know, come check it out. Next Tuesday is our dementia series, the third class in a series of 4. Debbie will focus on positive approaches for supporting those living with dementia. Just wanted to do a shout out for Ask the Nurse. This is with our our town Board of Health nurse, Anita Wright. She is in here with her time, giving you 15-minute slots of, you can literally ask her any questions. She can, do blood pressure checks. If you have a B12 shot, bring it with you. She's happy to do that for you. Really wonderful resource about any number of things. So, definitely utilize that if you have any questions. We are going to ONT next Thursday. Bus leaves at 12 o'clock. It is free for those not familiar with Our Neighbor's Table. It is a grocery market, a free pantry choice market for you to go to. Our van ride is free, so please do join us. Just make sure to reserve your spot on the bus. We have Preventing Medicare Fraud next Thursday, and then following week on April 1st, we are having our Conversations That Matter. This is focused on the works of Val Walker, who will be our featured speaker at the engagement celebration. So we are reading her 2 books and or just using them as conversation guides for those that may not be reading it. But I've read them both. I find them really tangible and useful for everyday conversations. So, yeah. Any thoughts or questions on those things? Okay. So, food pantry, lots of great stuff happening. We had actually a really busy month in the food pantry for February. So 87 visits to the pantry with over 1,200 pounds of food. Visits including our home delivery clients as well. ONT, they facilitate a couple of different groups. So one of the groups that the COA is part of is their Food Security Advisory Group, and that is a group of people, of leaders in the various communities that they serve. And many of those leaders are in the same position as we are, where we're also running a food pantry. We're in a unique position that we are both food pantry and leadership position. But so they wanted to provide an opportunity for leaders of those communities to visit the food pantries and see what's going on in their communities. And that allowed us at the COA to do a couple of things. One, let people come into our pantry, not on a busy day, but where it was just myself in the office to answer questions for these leaders. So we had the executive director, Lindsay from ONT, come in with a board member. We've had the director of Georgetown COA and the program manager over at ONT come visit us and to share what we do. And I think it was really eye-opening because people, as we all are, when we're in a sector, in an industry, that's what we focus on. And so when they came into the COA and they could see how much more we do, that this is really a critical touch point for many other services, I think was something that they weren't fully cognizant of, but it definitely made an impression now. I went over to the Newberry Food Pantry. If you haven't been there, like, amazing. Certainly they are well established and they serve a very large portion of people. They don't serve Groveland, but nonetheless a really great peer resource, I think, for questions. And one of the things I learned about them was their pantry software that they use for inventory. And while our inventory is small, it's still, I feel, really critical to make sure that we don't make mistakes, which are human error of, yes, we have 5 cans. Actually, we don't have 5 cans. We only have 4. Then one person doesn't get that can. Certainly our community is amazing and wonderful and very kind if they don't get the one thing that they asked for, but would love for that to happen less. And so, something like that software, I think could be useful. So I have a couple calls in about that. Also working with ONT to see how maybe we could work with their software as well. So I thought it was great. Any food pantry questions?
Where is the Newbury Food Pantry located?
It is right on the border of Newburyport in Newbury. I can't remember the street. I want to say maybe Low Street, but like way on the other side.
Low Street goes to Route 1, so
Yeah.
Graff Road?
Maybe. It's a big church. I think it's probably
Oh, is that
Congregational
Hope
Church.
Chur- Is it a Hope Church?
I can get that to you.
Is
I
it
don't
like
remember.
a modern-looking church?
No.
No.
No, because it's been well established for quite some time.
Yeah, and they built like a warehouse behind the church. They have a walk-in freezer and a walk-in fridge.
So off of High Street?
Oh, maybe that
High
sounds
Street?
familiar. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
before you get to the Newbury Common, so if you're walking on. High
Yes.
Street.
Yep. Yep.
All right, now I know.
Yeah.
I know where it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it was incredible. So they actually don't let people. It is fully staffed by volunteers, and because it is a big warehouse, each volunteer has their own section. So they have a bagger, or multiple baggers, but a section for baggers, a section for people packing the meat, a section for people doing the bread. And so they do all the individual orders, the volunteers do. And then people drive up, and then they give them their
Right.
bags. So the community members don't go in and do the shopping, but they do have still a choice food pantry model, and so they still see their the full order online, and or a volunteer can call them and do the order online for them. And then it sort of prints out like a little receipt, and they're shoppers, and they go shopping, and neat. I think we all know, but just wanted to name it, that we have a new van driver, Stephen Craven. He is here on Mondays and Tuesdays. I keep meaning to get a picture of him to share on Facebook, but I haven't yet. But we've really enjoyed working with him so far. He's handled a trip to Kowloon. He's done mobile market deliveries. He's been awesome. So if and when you see him, do say hello. He's been a great addition to the team. International Women's Day was, I would say, a success on all counts. So that was held on Saturday, March 8th, up at VC Park. We had 72 attendees, which was awesome to see. Age ranges were, varied. Our two largest groups were between 40 and, our largest group fully would be between 40 and 74. There are some on the younger side, some on the older side. Most attendees were from Groveland, and just curious about how people found out about us. Word of mouth was the biggest one, followed closely by our newsletter. All of our panelists were truly amazing, including our own Barbara Sanborn. So thank you very much for your time. Really do appreciate hearing your voice.
I'm still talking about it. It was such a good event.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So, hopefully it's an annual thing. Definitely, I think I mentioned via an email and notification before. Maybe it's something that a small subcommittee or something might be able to work on in the future years. I don't want it to only be my perspective and who I think might be a good panelist. So just putting it out there might be good. Other goings-ons, we had a legislative breakfast hosted by AgeSpan last Friday. So they did a pretty extensive survey to all of their service areas. They are the largest ASAP in the area, so I forget the exact number, but a huge amount of communities that they serve. But they did get participants for their survey from Groveland, and so we can pull those at a later date of what those numbers said. But overall, they did tell us that for our region, and that home care services were a particular pain point for them, and something that AgeSpan hopes to connect with our legislators on. So that means like all the people that you go into the home services. So that can really be everything, right? So that could be OT, it could be taking, cleaning the home, it could be, respite services. So everything really under the sun for that. As we all know, it's you're in a hard spot because there's so many people that need the services, and there just aren't enough people in that industry as of yet. So it is a challenge, and getting paid appropriately to do that as well is a challenge. Food security is of course another pain point for us, and that they're working on. Certainly, HSpan is the one that facilitates the Meals on Wheels programs, among other things. And then, of course, housing stability is a huge talking point. So there were a lot of legislative people at the breakfast, including Representative Ramos and mayors of a few different towns. And then our own select board member, Jason, was there. Jason Naves was to hear the concerns of older adults and what HSpan is doing to work on them. So that was great to see. Did want to just put it out there, and I'm sure it's on a lot of people's minds that, we are watching the federal funding concerns. I haven't heard, anything directly coming from the Executive Office of Aging and Independence as of yet. They generally do keep us apprised of anything coming our way. Certainly we've seen the cuts on meals, but again, nothing directly impacting as of yet. I think Social Security, the big concern I hear is when people, if they will have to go in person to renew, which, we'll see how it affects us when the time comes, if the time comes. So, yeah. Hoarding workshop. I was with, as you know, hoarding's been sort of a goal of mine to work on this fiscal year, just to become more knowledgeable and put some things into practice. Our health agent, Rosemary, had received notification of a training going on, and so it was an online training. She shared it with myself and a number of other department heads that are often involved in hoarding situations. 3 of us were able to attend. It was a really, really great resource. Marnie Matthews is just a premier go-to person for a lot of documents that are used nationally, including the Uniform Harm Reduction Checklist. So it makes it really easy of just sort of step-by-step, level by, number one, make sure egresses are cleared. And so that it's, again, focusing on harm reduction, and I think that's the key point. It doesn't mean clear everything out, because that is really traumatic. It means making sure that they can live in their house safely. And that might mean just moving their stuff somewhere. So I thought it was great that she was able to reiterate those conversations. And lastly, just a couple of big thank yous. Marie Kent, she's working in the pantry now. She came in on an off day and cleaned out the freezer and fridge, which was much needed and truly, truly appreciated for her to do that. And Frank stepped up and did a full day of training with our new van driver on his first day, which I think was really appreciated as well. So that is it for me. Thank you for your time and appreciation. Happy to answer any questions. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Any questions, comments before we move on? Thank you. Subcommittee updates. Is there anything to update us, discuss about bylaws, finance, personnel,
Bylaws have
nominating?
been submitted to the town administrator to be put on the warrant. I haven't heard anything else. So, there were some, questions back and forth, and with the email, what about this, what about that, typos, whatever, but she has it.
Okay. And finance, I assume we haven't heard anything yet about the budget and moving forward. Okay. Personnel or nominating? All right, moving right along.
Nominating, if anyone has any ideas for, because Marie is going off in June, at the end of June, so we would need another board member.
Yes, and I can no longer serve as chair after July 1st, so internally, we have to do
Yes.
some shuffling around and talk about who will take over the chair position and any other shuffling that may be done. Of course, we'll stay on the board, it's just moving around.
Would it be good just to remind people that if anyone listening is interested in serving on the board, how they would go about doing that? Might be a good idea.
Yep, they need to write a letter of intent, or, I guess that's what it's called, letter of intent, to the Board of Selectmen, via Rebecca Oldham, our town administrator, just saying that you wish to serve on the board for this COA, and they're the ones who appoint you. So, come to meetings first so you know what you're getting into.
Wouldn't, just wanted to clarify, just for my own purposes, but wouldn't there's a conversation here before the select board would appoint?
Yes, I mean, they have to, okay, so if they would have to, my suggestion would be that they would come to a meeting and see what it's all about, express interest, but we are not the ones that decide. It's.
Well, we do.
We recommend, I think, though.
We
we
can recommend, but
It's in the
it's the
bylaws.
select, yeah. No, the select board are the people who appoint. It's an appointed position, it's not an elected position. We can't, but we vote on the board after, I believe, I gotta check the bylaws, but I,
Yeah.
It's in the bylaws.
Yeah,
hold
and
on.
when we,
I'll look.
I think it starts here.
It starts, well, yeah, I'm just saying if there's anyone here on the board that knows of anyone, I mean, when you think how many of you have come onto the
Right.
board
Right.
from
But we also-
conversations with
But we
people.
also don't want it to be limited to people. So if there's anyone.
No. Oh, no, no,
right,
no,
anyone,
no.
They should probably approach someone. They could approach Alyssa. They could approach anyone on the board. They could come to a meeting, as you said,
Right,
prior to writing the letter of interest, I think.
yes. I thought you meant what's the legal way of going through it that way.
I
mean,
think
yeah.
they would do that first,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
so what happened with Sharon was she wrote a letter of interest.
She came to a
She
meeting.
came to
yes,
our meeting first, and,
But we didn't vote.
no, we
on
didn't
having
vote,
her.
no, and then she submitted the letter of interest, and in the bylaws, it says, members shall be nominated by a majority vote of existing members of the board, and nominations shall be sent to the Board of Selectmen for appointment. So they do the appointing, but we do take a
but we
vote and
vote.
do the
Or maybe I wasn't.
the
here.
nominating.
Anyway,
We took a vote on it.
Nominates.
Yeah.
Right, the committee nominates,
nominates, yeah.
and the
Sorry.
select board appoints.
Right.
So,
Yes.
it's
been a while
easier
since
than
I
it
looked
sounds.
It is.
Yes, just come to meetings, see what we do, watch meetings, and, yeah, we need a board member. We'd like to continue having a full board. My other thought about nominations is there anyone else? I'll have to check. I didn't know we were discussing that today. I thought we'd bring that up in our
That's okay, we can,
May meeting.
yeah.
As to, you serve 3-year terms, is there somebody else who's up?
Oh,
Yeah, I don't
didn't
have those
bring that
Irene, I
dates.
think,
list.
might be, and you just express interest now with if the bylaws are changed, which hopefully they will be, you can serve again. You don't have to go off, they were changed. You don't have to go off for the year like it used to be.
Right.
Right.
You can
Express interest,
re-up
re-up.
your 3 years.
There's an official,
So
yeah.
maybe this is something that we should discuss as a focus area in April.
Yes. Well, I gotta get the bylaws up. I'm sorry, I'm not
You want the
here with
bylaws?
You have, yeah, I'm just, are those the newer ones? Well, they haven't been passed yet.
Right, no, these are the original ones.
Original, okay, I'm just,
Oh, and our meeting.
When
would
our
be
meeting-
Before the town meeting? Yes.
yes, I think that's when we,
Yes, town meeting's the last Monday in April.
Right, so our meeting is.
Right, I
before
think
that.
that's when we discuss it in April. That's why I'm unprepared. I'm like, oh, that's bylaws. I'm on 3 bylaws committees. So
There
I'm
it
like,
is.
which one is this? I'll look through it, yeah. Uh, 3 years. Actually, it doesn't have any time in this one, I think. Regular monthly meeting, no. Okay, annual meeting of the council held during the month of June. So our annual meeting is where we do that. So in May.
We vote on officers and,
Right. In June, no, so in May, you bring it up, in June, we do the vote. Yes. Thank you. Refresh my memory.
Okay.
And that, yeah.
All right. Any other discussion on subcommittee updates? And we've discussed the town meeting and budget updates. Friends of the Council on Aging, Larry McKellarty. Come on down.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to add my endorsement to anyone who wants to join this board. I've been part of this board, and you know that it's a very important, very engaged, very fulfilling opportunity to work and help out the town. So anyone who's out there listening, please consider joining this board. It's really a good group. The Friends of the Council on Aging, most of you know, is a fundraising group that provides all of its efforts to the betterment of the Council on Aging, support of the mission. We have 2 fundraisers coming up. On April 11th, we have a concert by the North Shoremen. Camera, there's the camera. The North Shoremen, it's going to be held at Bagnell School. The tickets are $15, $10 for students. Please come and join us. There'll be an hour concert. It'll start at 6:30. After the concert, we'll have a little social, a chance to schmooze and connect with people in town. You know, we know that there are changes in the wind, and we don't know what those changes are, but it's a good time to kind of circle the wagons and know who we are in town, and build a little community. So it's an opportunity if you are interested in finding out about the Council on Aging, the Friends, or other committees in town. I hope that people show up and we turn it into a nice community event. If you wish to get tickets, you can, in the Council on Aging office, there are some pink slips with order forms with envelopes that you can just put your money in, and the tickets will be returned to that. You can also contact the Friends of the Council on Aging. Our email is 01834, which is the zip code, and then Friends of Groveland Council on Aging, so it's 01834 FOGCOA @gmail.com. And if you email us with an order of tickets, we'll make arrangements to get the tickets to you. So please come and join us on April 11th. I want to thank all of the friends and who have worked hard to pull this together for us. Our second upcoming fundraiser is the townwide yard sale, which will be the first weekend in May. We're doing a little bit different than it has been done in the past, and I don't think it's been done for about 7 years. I think 2018 might have been the last time the townwide yard sale was held. For those of you who don't know, it's an opportunity to get rid of your stuff, make a little money, and also make a little donation to the Friends. The cost is $25 per location. We are running it on both Friday and Saturday. You can register online. There is a link on the Friends Facebook page, and there is, believe it's posted also on this Council on Aging website? Not yet. It is coming then. We also have paper forms for those of you who do not want to or are not comfortable registering online. You can just fill this out. There is a drop box in the Council on Aging office. And you can also contact us at the aforementioned email address for information. And I want to thank Trudy Dooner and Mary Ann Naffa, who are working real hard to help get this really nice community event off the ground. We'll be doing a lot of advertisements, so if you are going to join us and have a yard sale in your neighborhood or in your driveway, it'll be well advertised. We are, reaching out to newspapers and other community forums, so we hopefully will have a lot of people coming through town and spending their money here. Any questions?
Will there be a map with a list of people who have registered for the yard
Yes,
sale?
when the deadline for registration, the registrations are basically open now, and we're hoping to end the registration on the 15th of April, which would give us enough time to put the information both on a physical map and also there'll be a link to have a map that you can have on your phone or tablet that would show where the locations of the different yard sales are, and also what kinds of things are for sale. There'll be an opportunity to list that you are, for instance, having furniture, tools, and children's toys. That might be categories that you would have. So it's we're trying to make it very user-friendly, and hopefully we'll be able to make it work well. The maps, we got a physical map. I'll probably have a little station out in front of Town Hall for people who want to swing by and get a physical map those days. So again, it's Friday, May 2nd, and Saturday, May 3rd. You don't have to do both days. You can do one day or the other, or both. Any other questions?
And does the person who's having a yard sale set the times that they
Yes,
will be
They-
open and available?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I just had an idea for you to think about. If you're going to have something here and people wanted to swing by, they could probably drop off a donation, like a monetary donation if they wanted to, for the Friends. Would you collect that?
We would be happy to.
Okay. And then I was also thinking, while we're in the spirit of giving, that if people wanted to drop off food items for our pantry, that would also be welcome.
On that same day. I love that idea.
Okay.
We're bang for the buck, right? While you're doing it.
Exactly.
Great.
So, any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you, Larry, for all the work you've done. The Friends of the COA is like really taken off. Thank you. We miss you on the board, but wow, what you've done for the Friends.
Well, just know that there's more to be done, and we could always use more help.
Wait, say that again in the microphone.
I want to thank you for the boost, but I also want to say there's plenty more to be done. And there's always room for help. That is also a great group to work with, and what I like best is our meetings are not on camera.
I know.
Any other business questions, concerns? For our March focus area, we will be meeting Monday, the 24th, at VC Park at 1 o'clock to discuss strategic planning. It'll be an informal meeting of the board, as well as the chair of the Friends will be there to discuss our strategic plans that we have already discussed here, but in a more informal and a more, get into it type of session. So that is upcoming, and I think that's it. For April, we don't really have a focus area, probably just continuing.
We'll probably have to talk a little bit about, we should by then know the full warrant for town meeting. So we'll probably want to discuss that a little bit. And hopefully we'll have some strategic planning ideas to present from our meeting.
Yeah, I was just going to add for the strategic planning. So I have created a document, and I can forward your way of just some ideas that, again, I liked from my perspective, but again, curious what you all are interested in. I reached out to MCOA, and so I think I mentioned before, they have a certification program for directors, and part of that certification is to do strategic planning. I am not yet eligible because they require a certain amount of time to be director here. However, they said if I commit to doing the program when I am eligible, that she would go ahead and give me access to that information. So, certainly not a problem to commit. So I just got it yesterday, all the resources that the MCOA has. So I'll certainly pass along, anything that seems reasonable. So.
Very good, thank you.
So would any of those resources also include a model or two of a strategic plan?
I haven't looked at them. I would assume maybe so, but again, there's so many online. So like I said, I have a couple that I like. I mean, the main thing that I like is, your sort of pillar, the big reason why, right? And then I also like asking why, like the actual question, why is this important? Why are we focusing on it? And then you have your objectives or your goals, and then the actual metrics of what of how you're going to measure impact or success, whatever that may be. But I think there's a lot of different ways of how you get to those bullet points. Yeah. So they have a planning process, so again, we can do that. But I think it's what the group, I think every single organization out there does it differently in their own way to make it their own. So it's useful for them uniquely. So, but yeah.
Yeah, to be useful, I'm hoping that we can have boundaries, not get out of control and get to be too large to accomplish.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
Big, but with boundaries.
Within boundaries, and because then it can, and I mean, part of me even thinks of, I was looking at a few communities of, and how they did it, and it's that asking those questions and asking it to the broader community, and that takes time. So maybe the actual bullet points for strategic planning doesn't come for a while until we get all of the information to figure out what our strategic plan is. Or alternatively, is our, phase one, this, So, yeah.
Being on the library board of trustees, we come up with strategic planning, and a lot of it, it's more like a 5-year type thing. We have goals for each year, but then the 5-year plan. But we ask the community for feedback. So, we can do we want this. Well, if it's not going to work with the community, who are we serving, and what do they want or need or see a possibility? So, that could be going from there. And then each year you have goals, accomplishable goals, or hopefully tasks that can be accomplished in a year. So, okay.
As far as logistically for next week's meeting, do we need to do anything? You know, like pads of paper, whiteboard, easel, binders? How can I help you with this? I mean,
Stay overnight?
well, no, I mean,
yeah.
we can't just go in, sit in a line,
yeah.
and nod our heads.
Yeah.
We have got to actually come up with ideas, we've got to participate. we've got
I
to
mean, I am a
document
big fan of the sticky note and,
Sticky notes around the room,
yeah.
yeah. All right, so do you need me to do anything as far as getting supplies?
if you would like to,
All right.
we can chat.
Can you tell me more of your vision of sticky notes? Like, questions, like,
I mean, I think, well, one, I feel like we need an agenda for the plan, so I can put something together, and then we can confirm that agenda, maybe as our first point of order. But yeah, I think, I mean, just for me, and I know a lot of people are, you know, we all have our different learning styles. I think just making sure that it's something that can be shared and everybody's voice is seen and heard. So whether that just be a big easel of, you know, of the big sheet of paper, or if it's sticky notes that are colorful, you know, I think it's just nice to visualize it. But I don't
Agreed.
know. I don't know.
And this isn't done in one day either, so, I mean, it's not done in one day. This is the beginning, you know, we will have to have other meetings. This is the idea, boop, boop, shooting them out.
Yeah, I mean, I would just, to comment on that in my mind, I see this as, well, we've touched on strategic planning and what we're looking to do. Like, this is the kickoff to, okay, we really are serious. And what is our plan to get a strategic plan? You know, sort of the pre-planning phase.
Okay, if you would like, I'm happy to make a Staples run this week. Okay?
before you
You'll leave
do-
up to me what I'm going to get for items? Okay.
Although I've been out of a classroom for a while, I still do have some large chart paper that we could put on the walls
Okay.
to answer questions.
So I won't get large chart paper.
Don't get large chart paper, and let me look at my supply of sticky notes, of Post-its, because I still have colorful Post-its.
Okay, all right, well, let me know, because I won't.
I will.
can't,
I just,
you got to do it quickly,
Yeah.
though, because my day to do this will most likely be Thursday, so,
Which is
tomorrow.
I will look when I go home.
Otherwise, I'm just gonna go
I will
by.
be in touch with you today.
Irene's going to be downsizing.
Continuing to downsize, shedding.
Yeah.
Shedding.
That is my
Because I
verb
don't
of
have much
the
time
year,
Friday, Saturday,
shedding.
Sunday, or Monday, but I can do it tomorrow.
Okay, I will let you know.
Okay.
Sorry, that sparked. I forgot to mention that, and I didn't do an update because there's just so much going on, many moving pieces for the engagement celebration. But in addition to Nichols being an event sponsor, and I know many others will join them, one of our two big, well, going back. So last year we heard feedback that people wanted more workshops. Last year we offered one session of workshops with about 4 or 5 different choices. So this year we are offering 2 different sessions of workshops, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, for choices. And the 2 in the afternoon so far, super excited about, will be from the Massachusetts Behavioral Health Hotline. So they will be coming in to give an overview of the services that they offer. It is an incredible resource, free for people in Massachusetts to call, chat, email 24/7, but also just to get a starting point of removing that stigma, because we all have mental health issues that we need to work on that impact our daily life. So they are going to be hosting, and then AARP will also be hosting a program in the afternoon about ADUs. So super excited about it. So, about the dwelling units outside of our homes. And then hopefully they'll have a table there as well, both of these organizations, for people to stop by. So stay tuned.
Sounds exciting.
Just one suggestion from last year before I forget to do it. If we could have the check-ins sorted alphabetically. Remember last year, we were searching all through the check-ins because they weren't
Yeah.
alphabetical?
Okay.
So,
Yeah. No, I feel like we're on the same page. We're good.
that year, it took a lot longer to check in than it should have, just
Okay.
because we couldn't look alphabetically.
Yeah. We will do.
Very much looking forward to that event. All right, if there is no other business questions, discussions, our next scheduled meeting is April 16th, right here at 9:30. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting at exactly 10:30?
So moved.
I'll second.
Oh, good. Thank
All
you,
those in
Barbara.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Aye.